Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about become irreplaceable to your ex so they will come back and beg to be back with you, basically. Right, so how can you do this, basically? So how can you become irreplaceable to your ex? So the first thing that you can do is you need to do what they least expect, right? Because they're expecting you to beg, they're expecting you to plead, they're expecting you to try and resolve things. So when you stop doing that and you go into no contact, that's when you have tipped the scales, basically. And it could be that they have to start reaching out to you, because basically what happens when you go into no contact, they start fearing that they're going to lose you, right? If they still love you and care about you, they're going to feel afraid about losing you. So essentially, what will happen is if they feel like they're losing you, they will start reaching out to you and start putting in the effort, right? But if they don't, then you'll just never hear from them again. Okay, if they don't love you, if they don't care about you, then no amount of no contact is actually going to attract them back. If they've already made that decision, they've already come to that conclusion within themselves and they've moved on, then there's not really a lot you can do. But if you're interested in how to get your ex back, then I highly recommend that you go and check out this video on how to get your ex back. You'll be able to find it in the card here, but you'll also be able to find it as the channel trailer for my YouTube channel. So you should be able to find it very easily if for whatever reason that link doesn't work. And if you've already watched it before, then I highly recommend that you watch it again so you can help retain the information, because most of the time when we watch or we listen to something or we read something, we only soak in about like 10% of the information that's given to us. So it's important to go back to important things like that over and over again, so you can, it really sinks in and you really learn it and you know it off by heart. So basically, if you ever get dumped again, then you know exactly what to do straight away, or you just know how to respond if your ex gets back in touch with you and things like that. So it's very important that you go and watch that again or watch it for the first time if you haven't done so already. Okay, so yeah, doing what they least expect is going to be a really powerful move for you to do, and what they don't expect you to do is go into no contact. They don't expect you to stop trying to save the relationship. Okay. So another thing that's going to make you become irreplaceable, basically, is if you start leveling up in your life, right? And what I mean by level up is that I mean that you're trying to improve all the different areas of your life. So there's a wheel by Tony Robbins. It's called like the life wheel or something like that. But basically this wheel has like loads of different sections over it. Like it has finances, it has career, it has like your spiritual life, it has other things like your friendships and your hobbies and things like that. And basically, if all of those aren't like a 10, then the wheel doesn't really work. So if you've got like a car, you can't really move the car if the wheels are just messed up, right? So you've got to be having like a really good balanced life, right? So you'll be able to find that online, I'm pretty sure. If you just type in Tony Robbins life wheel, you should be able to find it for yourself. But essentially, you should be having all of the areas of your life taken care of, or at least you should be at least happy with the path that you're on to make those improvements. So for example, you got to make sure that you've got, your finances in order. So it might be the case that you want more money. So that's maybe a goal that you're trying to work towards. And that's really important. Like if you want more money, then you need to be working to try and make that a reality. Another thing might be your health and fitness, like your vitality. If you've got poor energy and things like that, then that's something you need to work on. You need to eat right. You need to exercise and things like that. If there are, because what you got to realize is that where do you want to be in life, right? How would you ideally like your life to look like? How would you like to be living every single day? What would you like your lifestyle to be like, right? What kind of work do you want to be doing? What kind of, things do you want to do on your days off? How would you like to spend your days? You got to really think about these things, right? Because you only get one life, so you might as well try and make the best life as possible for yourself, right? You might as well try and make things amazing for yourself, right? So, you got to ask yourself something like, okay, where do I want to be in a year's time? Where do I want to be in 5 years' time? Where do I want to be in 10 years' time? Right, figure out what those things are, what you would like to ultimately have, be, do, and become, and then work towards that every single day. So you might come up with a list of things that you can do every single day to help you get there. Right, so if you want to start your own business, then perhaps you need to start creating a website, perhaps you need to make content for that website and things like that. So that's something that you can start doing, right? That's something you can do every day or work towards every week, at least every week or something like that. So you want to have all these different goals for yourself. It could be that you've got an exercise goal and then you start, creating an exercise regime. Perhaps you go and speak to a fitness instructor at your local gym and they can help you with your plan, right? They'll ask you basically what you're looking for, what you want, what you want your body to look like, and then they'll help you to get towards that place, right? So it's all about knowing what you want. It's all about knowing what you would like your life to be like, and then doing whatever you can basically to get there, right? Doing and working towards that every single day. Because at least then, even if you're not happy with where you are, you're at least happy then with the path that you're on, and that you feel like you're going somewhere. And even if the progress is small, at least it's still progress, and it's still a lot better than where you probably was a couple of months ago, right? Or even a couple of years ago if you've already been working on this kind of thing for a long time. So you want to level up in all these kinds of different ways, and this will make you appear more attractive to your ex, and it will also make you appear more attractive to other people as well, because you've got things that you're ambitious for, things that you're passionate about, and you're actually trying to improve your life. Because I've met many people in my life who are just completely happy and content with what they have, which is fine, but they're not striving for more. They could do, right? They could have more if they wanted to, but they're just kind of content. But still, there's a side of them that's still complaining about their life. They complain about the people that they work with. They complain about their love life, but they're not doing anything to change it. And it seems like they're just content in being a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's uncomfortable because there's a lot of things that they don't actually like, but they're comfortable enough to actually not change anything. And it's such a sad thing to see, because they could actually be doing so much more with their life, but they're just choosing not to. They could change their circumstances if they want to. They could live a more happier life than they want to, but they won't, because they're just comfortable enough to not make any change. And it's a really sad thing to see when people get in that state. I'd rather see someone who's really poor and desperate and fighting to get more wealthy than someone who is just content with being this sort of like happy, unhappy person, right? I'd rather see someone who is actually really trying to strive and get better and is desperate for what they want, and they will probably get it because they're that desperate, right? So, but it's one of those things, I guess. So try and level up in all these different kinds of areas, and it's going to make your ex maybe you even regret breaking up with you, okay? So work towards all these goals. Other things that can help as well, make sure that you work out, and also make sure that you heal, properly. Don't just drag all of your old baggage, all of your old emotions, all of your old bad habits into a new relationship if you get into a new relationship, right? So you've got to make sure that you heal all your wounds. So it's a good idea to look back on your relationship with your ex and think about what you did right, what you did wrong, what you don't want it to happen again, what you don't want to repeat, and things like that. Because even if your ex was like 95% fault for the relationship and they were the worst person ever, they did everything wrong, there are still some things that probably, keep it in the back of your mind, you could have done a lot better with. There's always something that you could have done better. There's always some way that you can improve. There's always some way that you can get better, right? So even if it was just a small thing, like, oh yeah, maybe that day when we had this argument, perhaps I shouldn't have been so passive aggressive. I'm going to work towards that, right? So it's a good idea to write these kinds of things down, know the things that you need to work on and get better at. And if you would like more knowledge on dating and relationships, because perhaps you don't understand the opposite sex or the same sex as the case may be at all, and you don't understand how their brain works, then I highly recommend that you go and check out the books in the description of this video, because that will give you a good overview of how their psychology works, how to communicate with them that makes them more attracted to you, and things like that. So in those links, there's 5 relationship and dating books, and there's also 5 books on personal development and your personal success. If you're just focused on your love life right now, then just get the ones that are about dating. Hopefully you'll be able to tell which ones those are by the titles of the books. And basically, if you purchase a book through those links, then I will get a small commission with no extra charge to you. But I understand you may not want to do that. Perhaps you don't have enough funds. So if that's the case, then what you want to do is you want to go onto that bit anyway, have a look, go through that link anyway, look at the titles, write them down, and go and see if you can get them at your local library for free, or get a cheaper version of them on eBay or something like that, okay? But if you do want to support me and support the channel, then it would be really appreciated, greatly appreciated in fact, that you purchase any of those books, either their audiobook version or their the card copy or the Kindle version through those links. So thank you so much if you do that. Okay, so fill in your knowledge gaps about dating and relationships, because that's really going to level you up. And what's even cool about that is that you may even attract someone better by reading what's in those books, and you may even forget about your ex completely. Obviously not 100%, because we don't just get amnesia and forget about our exes, but the point is that maybe if you find someone better, you won't actually care as much about your ex. Because if you find someone who's just way above and beyond better than your ex, so let's say they're better looking, they have you two have a better connection, like you just get on well better, you enjoy each other's company, they're much nicer to you, you know, they've got everything basically that you've always wanted, then it's going to be very easy for you to forget about your ex and for your emotions to become less intense about your ex, right? And you may not even care anymore if your ex comes back. Right? And if they do come back, perhaps you won't even bother replying to their message, because you've fully moved on and you've fully leveled up and you want better in your life anyway. Okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.